Hey guys, Bam here. So today I want to show you a super effective and worthwhile strategy for harvest. I tried a couple of different things, including using the imbued harvest on the map device, but it cost way more to do this, and also it wasn't um, rewarding as much as the cost of it, so I just scratched it. So instead, what I will be using is Harvest Scarab of Cornucopia. Harvest Scarab of Doubling, of course, to get twice the number of juice. Uh, Harvest Scarab, this may look suspicious, but we're just saving points on the Atlas. Instead of taking more chances of spawning the Sacred Grove, we're just using the Scarab. And I'll add a flex slot into this, so that's why we're using this. And then we have Scarab Monsters Lineage. That way we just get more monsters, more magic pack size, so more monsters in Harvest, meaning we get more Harvest juice. Alright, with that being said, let's get down to the Atlas. Alright, so here, as I said, we're guaranteed spawning the Harvest with the Scarabs, so don't worry if we're blocking stuff. The only reason we're blocking stuff is in order to get more chances of getting the Scarabs that are actually worth money. So pretty much we're blocking everything that has no Scarab that's worth money. That's why we're doing this. It's not to get more chances of getting Harvest, as I said, since we're using the Scarabs guaranteed. Alright. And then we skip all those more chance of containing a Sacred Grove. But aside of that, we pick up every single point in Harvest. Like this, getting containing a tier 4, stuff like that, getting more chance to get duplicated. This is super useful on whenever you kill bosses. And by the way, since we have this, we have a lot of bosses into our maps. All right, then we block blue and red, but we do not take crop rotation because we want to spawn guaranteed tier 4 bosses, so don't use this. I tried a bunch of different things with crop rotation, and it's super RNG, and to be honest, I don't think it's worth picking up. But for this strategy, make sure you do not pick it up. As I said, we're using this Scarab, so we don't want to pick up crop rotation. All right, and yeah, the reason why we're blocking blue and red is that yellow juice is about 50% more valuable right now than the blue and red juice, and the reason why, as always, yeah, so it has the best craft on the arty crafting station. So like chaos, speed, all those that are like specific requires yellow juice, and also the most important one, the gambling one, divination cards, is actually yellow. So that's why every single league yellow juice is always worth more than the others, and this league is no different. All right, so that's why we're blocking as the maximum number of blue and red juice possible to be able to get as many yellow juice as possible. Alright, so this is for the harvest. Now, what we are picking up is also all the link mechanic. So all of those, getting chance of meta modifier. I also picked up that one, chance to have modifier tier rating. If you're not crafting yourself, you can skip it as they are pretty cheap, to be honest. They're upgraded tier rating, but personally, I craft with the Necropolis, so I like using a bunch of upgraded tier as it is like the most valuable thing. Getting sure you get all tier 1. Um, here, increase effect modifiers of devoted and a higher tier of Lantern of Aramor. Just random stuff that we pick up, and also here, chance to be rare and to be tormented spirit when collect corpse in your maps. And yeah, more chances of getting Ember of Flame. So that's it for the link mechanic. We're pretty much picking up everything aside of this, because uniques, there's only the Perendus ones that are worth, and those two we don't need to be reduced. If you're having a hard time, you could use it, but personally I'm fine. Alright, aside of that, we will be picking up as much quantity as possible, and the reason why is that the juice scales with the quantity, so that's another thing. Later I will show how you must roll your map. Always try to aim for 80% or more. The higher the better, as you will get more juice from it. And yeah, we're also getting this more monster pack consisting of difficult rewarding rewards. Just on average, we will get more Scarabs and stuff like that with this, and also more juice, so that's why we're picking that up. Same for this, 3% explicit modifiers on your maps per 5% quality. Yeah, so we're trying to get as much juice as possible. That's why we're picking up all of those. And then we have some random Scarab nodes, like Remarkable Relics and Amplified Artifacts. Also, we have more chances of getting Scarabs. It will not affect a lot, but still, since we're blocking a lot of mechanics and trying to get, most likely we need to get like either Ultimatum for the Catalyst one. This one doesn't actually have any Scarab attached to it, that's why we're not blocking. Or the Sacred Grove, as we are using them, so they're also valuable. And yeah, aside of that, we have a lot of chances of getting the Divination Scarabs, which are the most valuable ones, so that's why we block everything. Okay, and the next step is we're using the Searing Exarch influence, so the red influence. You could be switching all of this for the blue influence if you want. There's nothing that blocks you from doing this. The only reason I'm using red is that we get a lot of bubblegum currency with the red altar. And since the divines are pretty cheap right now, I think it's worth running the red altars. Also, you have a chance of getting divination scarabs, which are the most valuable ones. Also, the invitation for Searing Zork is worth more than the Eater of World. And last, we have more quantity again in the metals just to get more juice from your harvest. And that's it for the Atlas. Alright, to roll your maps, you need to chisel them, of course, first. It's super important for this strategy that you actually chisel the maps. And then you just use an alchemy orb. And you're trying to, as I said earlier, trying to get at least 80%, the more the merrier, and 100% and 97%. So since they are all over 90%, we will not use Val Orbs. But if they were under 80%, let's say, you want to use Val Orb and try to get something good out of it, or just scour it and redo the process of using Alchemy Orbs. Alright, now we'll just do a simple map to show you how it works. So on the map device, we're using just the added quantity. We're not using anything else. Since we're guaranteed with the harvest, we don't have to use it on the map device. That Scarab will save us a couple of chaos. And yeah, here we go. Right, convert to chaos, sure. Could always use the All Flame. In this example, I will not, but find the Sacred Grove as fast as possible. Oh, by the way, you will be getting a bunch of Fortunate with this strategy too, so yeah. You don't need to kill the boss. If you don't want to kill the boss, you don't have to. Unless you're at the full progress of getting, oops, sorry, wrong one. Unless you're at the full progress, 27 out of 28, and that way you will get the invitation for it. So here whenever we encounter bosses, we want to make sure we pick up Naham Harim. This is the yellow one, so this is the one we are looking for as it is more valuable. Just note that sometimes he can actually bug, which is annoying, and he will not change phases. You just have to wait for it to change phases, but most of the time we'll be fine. Hopefully it doesn't bug here. I think it did. So it will be doing his whole like dashing animation before he can actually change phases. But yeah, it can be annoying, but still. Alright, now he changes phase. Just note that the more quantity you have on your map, the more hardcore modifiers, the harder it will be, but right. That, and you have a lot of chance not wield the plots, but right now it did. That's why we're blocking the blue and red, because We're trying to get as many bosses of that one, plus the yellow one is worth more. Plus, and once we're done here, that's pretty much it. We can exit the map, as I said. If you want, you can still kill the boss. I'll do it for this example, but normally I just skip it once I'm done with the Sacred Grove. We can move on and just do another map and on. But if you want to complete your map, it's fine too. We're not getting much from it. As long as we spawn the influence on our map, we get our progress from it and fine, but yeah, we can still kill the boss if you want. Just like it's kind of wasted time. You would rather be doing another Sacred Grove instead. As you can see, we dropped some bubblegum currency, so not bad, but our main source of profit is from the harvest itself and not the rest of the map. Whenever you are doing your harvest, you want to get as many vivid monsters as possible, and also whenever you encounter bosses, if you have two, you want to pick up Nam Harim. So this is the one that gives yellow juice. Just better, as I said, the yellow juice is worth more. On average, the juice you're getting should be 50 times the quality you put on your map. So let's say you have a map with 80% quantity, you should be getting around 4k, and whenever you have like 100 quantity, it should be like 5k. This is an average, it depends, but sometimes you will get more, sometimes you get less. Also keep in mind that with this strategy you will get a lot of Sacred Blossom, and I suggest you run them yourself as they're pretty easy to run. Oshabi is pretty weak and doesn't take too long to kill if you have enough DPS. You also get some Shaco sometimes, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Behold, the first daughter of Rayclast.
Alright, now for the cost of this strategy. So the most valuable Scarab is the Harvest Scarab of Cornucopia, which is around 20 chaos each. The Harvest Scarab of Doubling, which is 3 chaos in bulk, or 45 for a Divines. The Harvest Scarab is less than a chaos, and the Scarab of Monstrous Lineage is also less than a chaos. So in total, we have maybe 25 chaos plus the map. As I stated earlier, make sure you get it at least 80 quality. And on average, you're getting out 4 or 5k worth of juice, which is close to a divine. So yeah, if you're running this fast, you can make a bunch of currency. So if you do this strategy and it takes you like 1 minute and a half to run this, meaning you can run around 40 maps, not including the load time, but around 40 maps, and you get 60 to 70 chaos profit per map. That's more than 20 divine worth of currency in an hour. So yeah, if you do this strategy, you can make a bunch of currency. Of course, it depends on your loading time, also your clear speed, and your ability to find the harvest, as is it depends on the map you're running. For this strategy, again, I ran Dune just because for me it's pretty easy to run, and yeah. So as you can see, it can be super worth, and you don't have to invest a lot, which is a cool thing. The other strategy I did with Harvest actually needed a lot of investment, but the return wasn't uh, way higher. So yeah, I think this is the best way to go on Harvest. Just let me know in the comments if you worked on Harvest and came up with a different strategy. And if this helped you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to make currency. As always, take care, guys.